Guys, I got videos coming to YouTube, but I'm just having a lot going on. But listen, if you're new to this live stream, you're new to the new YouTube channel, make sure you hit and hold that subscription button before I go any further, guys. And I want to make sure that you can hear me in the mic. So if anybody is online right now, let me know in the down in the comments if you can hear me. But the purpose of this video, guys, is just really to get you ready for what's about to happen. Spring lawn care, guys. And all my stuff I'm going to use, most of it's going to be a yard mastery. I'm going to show you my yard. I'm going to show you how to kill some weeds, all that good stuff right there. So let me flip this around, guys. Go ahead and get you started. Listen, this is what's going down right now. We have the starter fertilizer. We also have pre-emergent, all right? And then we also have the 7020. All of these are the chemicals right here that I'll be using. Hopefully you can see that shadow ain't in the way, that I'm going to use to kill some of these weeds right here, guys. And hopefully it won't drop off, the Wi-Fi won't drop off. But let me show you the yard real quick. Right here we have dormant 419 Bermuda grass. Is actually starting to come out of dormancy. All right, I'll scroll over. If the Wi-Fi drops off, please stay around because the Wi-Fi will come back on. I'm using my Wi-Fi. Right here, where's the line at? From here on over, that's actually Tahoma 31. Now the Tahoma 31 is starting to green up also. But what you see right here is poor. We got to treat that right there. And I'm going to roll with Negate this year, Negate 37. If you guys are using red label image, you still can use that. All right, starting to come out of dormancy. I'm going to take you on the side over here. And I want to show you, before I walk by this, I want to tell you what this is, because a lot of people be asking, what was that that gray brown thing in your yard? This is a dino trap, guys. What this does is catch flying insects, everything except for bees and moths, stuff like that. This will get my mosquito population down. Ever since I've had this, I haven't had to spray for mosquitoes. What it does is catches the insects, go in here, they get sucked in, and then they die in that chamber down there, and then I just throw that away. All right, so let's get on over here, right? This is the side of the yard that I burnt. And a lot of people want to know, how's the yard doing ever since you set it on fire? Don't. You can see it's starting to green up already. All right, and the reason this side of the yard gets greener earlier is because the sun hits that, all that reflects down, that heat radiates, and it'll make Bermuda grass grow faster. So not only am I getting it from the sun, I'm getting it from the wall right there, and it's a lot of heat generated in this area. But you can see the difference in the height versus my neighbor's yard versus mine, and mine is already starting to green up. All right, I can't walk around to the front with this camera because I'm riding the Wi-Fi, guys. The Wi-Fi, not that great where I'm at, and the regular signal, really not that great. So let me get over here, and I want to show you these chemicals and stuff that I'm gonna use, guys. If you're new to this live stream, do me a favor, please hit and hold that like button. You gotta keep tapping it so people will keep coming back. All right, so make sure you hit that. I'm gonna flip the camera around and I want to show you what's going on behind me. All right, right here, guys, listen, this is how we're gonna start this out. This is actually Prodiamine Yard Mastery 007.38. All right, if you don't know what 0.38 means, it means this. For every 1 ounce of product, 1 ounce, for every 1 ounce, you're only going to be putting down 0.38 of this per 1,000 square feet. Over here, we have starter fertilizer. If you have a new sod lawn, guys, my first application would be a starter fertilizer, not anything else. And Yard Mastery, if you're using the app, you're probably getting this recommendation to put down your 7020 stress blend. If your yard is not greening up by any means and you're expecting the frost to come back, my advice is just to hold off. You don't necessarily have to put it down because the app is telling you to put it down and you're still freezing where you're at, or your yard is not greening up. All right. Now, if you want to get a soil test, that's fine. You can go to my link. I'll leave that at the end of this video. And you can order it directly through Yard Mastery, and they'll send you a soil test. Soil test is not needed unless you just really want to know what's going on in the soil and you like those numbers. All right, so I don't want you to think that I'm trying to sell you a soil test, but it's a great idea, but you don't necessarily need one. All right, so let's get back over here. All right, and as far as weeds in the lawn, here's a couple of things I'm going to use. This is Spectricide 470. All right, we're going to put 6 ounces of this for every gallon of water that I put into my spreader. That spreader holds 4 gallons. I'm not filling this up to 4 gallons because it gets heavy. I'm going to stop at 3 gallons. So I'm doing math for you. If you put 6 ounces of this for every gallon, and you put 3 gallons of that, 3 times 6 is 18. You're going to put 18 ounces of this right here to blanket spray your yard. Now, if you're spot spraying, you don't necessarily have to put 6. I think they actually want you to put 6.2 ounces. You could put 3 ounces if you're just using it for a spot spray. But if you're not using it for a spot spray and you just want to blanket spray the yard because you got some weeds in it, that'll work. Keep in mind, this does not kill poa. This does not kill Dallas grass. This does not kill goose grass. But it pretty much takes on the rest of that stuff like crabgrass, creeping Charlie. If you use that to kill creeping Charlie, use it at the max rate, and you'll probably have to do a couple of applications. Spurge. Trying to think of some of the ones y'all be asking me about. Bittercrest, broadleaf weeds. Look at what it says. It kills 470 plus weeds. All right, and it's affordable right here. I think this is like $9 or $10. I'm not sure. You can get the hose-in version of that too and spray your yard. But let me tell you something real quick before you run out and get the hose in. Guys, you got to know what your square feet is. I did a video and I'll tell you how to get the square feet, but I'm going to make it real simple. Square feet equals width times length. Spectricide hose-in bottle only covers 4,000 square feet. So when you go and measure your yard 100 feet straight ahead and 40 feet over to the width, 40 times the 100 is 4,000 square feet. You cannot spray a bottle that covers 4,000 square feet on 20,000 square feet of yard and say that it didn't work, because it's not going to work. The concentration is for the 4,000 square feet. Bear that in mind when you go out there and you start spraying it. Now, if you're going to get the the Image Red label, same thing. The bottles, the hose-in bottle, I think it covers 8,000 square feet. So you got to do that math. Now, if you want to do a spot spray formula and you just want to treat the individual poa by itself, 2.5 ounces of that. You can go back and catch it on a replay and or write it down. 2.5 ounces of Image Red label per 1 gallon of water is good to spot spray. All right, don't mix 3 gallons of water and only put 2.5 ounces of Image Red label, because you're going to oversaturate it. So you got to read the directions on the back of these bottles. A lot of people will say that it didn't work or that this chemical didn't work. A lot of times you may be trying to kill weeds in your lawn that the bottle doesn't cover, just like the Spectricide 470. It's not going to kill poa, not going to kill Dallas grass, not going to kill goose grass. Now, I did a video on how to kill poa. I did a video on how to kill Dallas grass. If you want to find that video, just type in how to kill Dallas grass / Bermuda grass central, and that video will come up. All right, so let me get back over here and I'm gonna read this real quick. Somebody put a question down here. Can we spray the hose in and lay down 10-10-10 fertilizer at the same time? I put down the fertilizer like 10 minutes ago. Yes, you could do that all at the same time. But understand this right here. You asked me, can we spray the hose in? You can spray it, but understand this, that 10-10-10 is not going to be activated until it's watered in. So if you put that fertilizer down now and you go spray it today, you got to wait a couple of days to let that spray work. 2 or 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. Even though it says it rainproofs itself in so many hours and visible results in 5 hours, that's fine, but you need to let it sit on dry grass a couple of days. Or you put that fertilizer down, go ahead, turn the sprinkler system on, get it nice and wet, and wait till tomorrow and spray it. That way it'll work most effective, because you let the fertilizer actually get watered in and you're spraying a chemical to kill the weeds the next day on dry grass, not wet grass. All right, remember this, guys. Anybody who's following this channel, please make sure you hit and hold the like button. All right, if you put fertilizer down, it's only gonna work when it's watered in. I have to keep saying that because I have people who will put stuff down and then they'll call me back and say, BYD, that fertilizer didn't work. And I'm like, did you water it? No, I'm just waiting for it to rain. It's not gonna work unless you water it in. I got a question down here. When is pesticide 470 safe for animals? When you spray that stuff on your lawn and it dries up, I will wait a day and then let them come back out and they should be good. Because at that point, it's gonna get absorbed into the plant. Now, if your dog is sick and he's out there eating grass, because you know a lot of dogs do that, then you're gonna have to manage that right there. I wouldn't let him go out there after I sprayed it. After a week or so, you should be good, especially after it rains. When you spray for weeds, understand this too. If you got a weedy lawn, what I mean by you got a lot of weeds in your yard and you still trying to put down all this stuff, it's best to bag up that lawn when it's really weedy. Now if you got maybe 10 to 15% weeds, just mulch is normal. If you got poor, you need to bag that stuff up. Them little white seeds are deadly, all right? But as far as pets, make sure you read the back of the label because it's gonna go in depth about that. These formulas keep changing from year to year to year, so that would answer your question right there. Let's see, I could smell it. I could smell it. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it does have a chemical smell. I'm trying to read some of these comments down here. I believe I will scalp mine this weekend and put out some pre-emergent. All right. Glad you walked into that. That's Garland Holland right there. I'm gonna flip this bag around. Flip this camera around. This is the pre-emergent, even though I don't have the little label that goes with it. This is Yard Mastery 007.38. When you get this, you see this right here? It's gonna come with a card. That card is telling you what to put your spreader settings on your fertilizer spreader. All right. The reason I'm showing you that because this bag doesn't have it listed on it, but it's gonna come with this card. These bags have it already on here. Let's go over these numbers so you understand this real quick, guys. If you have a Lesco spreader, or Echo RB60, Earthway 2050, Earthway 2600 A+, Scott's Guard Mini, I'm not a fan of this one right here. I would upgrade to the Scott's Edge Guard or the Scott's Elite. The reason I don't like this one because it only spreads about 3 feet. All right, now that you have one of these spreaders, these are the settings that you put it on. Scott's Elite and Scott Edge Guard, 5.25. All right, Scott's Mini, same thing. Earthway, you put it on 14. Earthway, you put it on 14. The Echo RB60, you put it on 5.5. The Lesco, you put it on 14. So when I cut this bag open, and I'm gonna put this starter fertilizer, the reason I'm showing you, I'm gonna put it on my new sod that's in the back. I haven't had it for a year, and it's still trying to take hold. All right, I'm gonna come over to my Lesco spreader. I'm gonna, back here, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in where you can see it. There are dial settings back here. I put it on 14. You see that move back and forth? I find the 14 setting. All right, tighten it up. I pour in my fertilizer in there. I put my Harper cover back on, and I'm ready to put this on my yard. The reason we have a Harper cover is because if I'm out there pushing and I pass out from heat stroke or something, or a bear run out the woods and it tips over like that, that cover is gonna keep that from coming out. If you get fertilizer on your yard, you gotta get it up. The best way to get it up is to get one of them wet dry vacs and suck it up out of the ground, because if you don't, it's gonna actually leave a burn mark in that area right there. If it starts raining on me, my spreader cover comes in handy also. This is not for you to be sitting your cool cokes and anything on it while you're out there cutting the grass, because it still has a lot of chemicals on it. But that's what that's for. Now, when we're pushing the spreader, let me show you this real quick, because a lot of guys, they don't get this part right. Once I put it in there, I'm gonna open my spreader up. I'm gonna push this. As I'm pushing, the fertilizer is gonna be shooting from side to side. You're gonna walk a straight line up, You shed it off right before you get to the next property. And let me show you. Okay, let me just say I'm finna go over and turn around. When I get close to turn around, I turn it off. The last little bit come out. I turn around. All right. Then I start going back this way. I'll open it back up. That way you don't get it on your neighbor's yard or out in the street. This does not have an edge guard on it, so you're gonna have to know how far it spreads. This Let's Go spreader, the reason I bought it 4 or 5 years ago, and you see I still have it, is a commercial grade homeowner's spreader. If you want this spreader right here, I'm gonna leave a link after I upload this video for people who are not watching now, so you can order it directly from Amazon. It's not cheap. You get what you pay for. I think this is almost a $400 spreader now, and it may be a little bit more if you get the cover on it. All right, so once you start pushing this and you spread it up and down, guys, don't come sideways like this. You're only gonna go one direction, come back. You gotta make sure you evenly spread it. I got a video on YouTube, how to listen to what I'm about to tell you, how to optimize your fertilizer / Bermuda grass central, and that should come up. I may put a link down in the description also. All right. Now let me say something also real quick, guys. Just for what they call it, transparency. Yard Mastery has been sponsoring me for the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm gonna talk about Yard Mastery fertilizer. For the guys who say you sold out, then go ahead and click off. But I'm telling you, this is the fertilizer that I've been using for about 5 years, no, about 4 years. So when I mention stuff and I'm telling you buy this, buy that, yeah, I will get an affiliate kickback from it, but it's the stuff that I use. I'm not gonna tell you go buy stuff that I don't use or I haven't actually tested myself. I'm always transparent about that. A lot of people don't want to buy the products that we suggest as YouTubers or influencers because you just feel like we don't deserve to get this or that. But it's the information you want that helps the channel out when you do buy that. Now, so we'll get back to the yard. When you get that, the first thing you need to do too, also guys, is to put your pre-emergent down. But before you put your pre-emergent down, guys, and on here, I can't really show you the pictures because I'm doing this live, but before you actually do this, you need to scalp your lawn and put your pre-emergent down. And I'm gonna walk you over here so you can see an example of what I'm talking about. The reason I tell people to put down the pre-emergent is because it's gonna help prevent some of the weeds that haven't started to germinate. No, it's not too late. You know, generally my rule is February 15th and April 15th, around tax day. You put 2 doses down. If you're using Yard Mastery 0.38, you don't have to worry about going over your max rate, which is 0.83 for Bermuda grass when you're using prodiamine. But as always, read the label of the pre-emergent that you're putting down. I want to flip this around. I want to show you something. Hopefully my Wi-Fi won't drop off. You can see where we scalped right here and we burned the yard. Excuse me, we burned the yard first, then we came back and mulched it in, and then we came back and we scalped it again. It's the lowest setting the lawnmower can go, and we just bagged up all that loose stuff. If you see my neighbor's yard, you see how high theirs is. It's right about 2.5, 3 inches. All right, the reason you want to make sure you scalp your lawn first before you put down pre-emergent is because the pre-emergent can get into the soil a whole lot faster when it's closer to the ground. And I'll give you an example. If you have 3-inch Bermuda grass and you put pre-emergent in it, or either the liquid kind, the chances are getting all the way down to the bottom about maybe 50 to 80%. If you got 1-inch Bermuda grass and you put pre-emergent down, it's gonna get to the soil a whole lot quicker. All right. One of the issues with putting down pre-emergent, people will not water this stuff in. They just think you can put it out there and that's how it works. If you get weeds after you put down pre-emergent, doesn't mean it didn't work. It just means you missed the window of the weeds that start germinating. So if you have a lot of weeds, do I recommend you put down pre-emergent still? Yes, put it down. You have to start getting your soil ready for the next crop of weeds that may come up. Yeah, you're gonna have some seasons where it's gonna be a lot of weeds. You're gonna have some seasons where it may not be a lot of weeds. You're gonna have some seasons where you think the pre-emergent wasn't effective. You're gonna have some seasons where you say, oh man, it worked great. It's just going to depend. So please, I am begging you guys, scalp the lawn first, then put the pre-emergent down. then water it in. Do not scalp your lawn if the ground is moist. What I mean by that, your grass, it just rained and your grass is still mushy. Got to be completely dry and hard for you, in order for you to get that stuff to suck up in the lawnmower. All right, and if you're new to this live stream, guys, please do me a favor, hit and hold that like button. I'm gonna be doing a lot more lives versus just creating a video and nobody watches it. All right, so hit the like button so I can see the little flames or arrows or whatever they got go up the side. And I'm gonna see if I got any more questions down here, because I still got some stuff to talk about. How can we grow? I don't know what that is. Hi from Russia. Whoa. How old are you? Why does that even matter? How do you get Bermuda grass to grow in shaded areas? You cannot get Bermuda grass to grow in shaded area. Here are the pros and cons of having Bermuda grass. Bermuda grass naturally spreads by itself through stolons. These are the ones that run sideways, and rhizomes, which they go up underground, they pop up somewhere else. And you got the natural vertical growth. Bermuda grass kryptonite is shade. If that grass is not getting anywhere from 7 to 8 hours of sunlight and it's in a shady area, it's not going to thrive. There's no way to get Bermuda grass to grow in an area like that. It's one of the things that just happens. All right. The other con is, if you have it near your flower beds, they have a tendency to creep into the flower beds. That's why they call it an invasive grass. Technically it's a weed, but it's considered an invasive grass. All right, so know that the pros is you don't have to oversee that Bermuda grass that's healthy and it's out in the sunlight. As long as you mow that lawn maybe once or twice a week and you put down some good fertilizer, you don't have to fertilize 5-6 times a year like you're going to see me do, maybe at least 2 or 3 at least. But as long as you're mowing and you're mulching and you start bagging when it gets away from you so you don't create thatch, that grass is going to spread naturally. What happens if I have a bare spot in my yard and it's in a sunny spot? Put down sand only, but don't go get play sand. I need you to go get either river sand or masonry sand, or it may be labeled patio sand. Keep that in mind. You put that down there and spread it, eventually it's going to start running across that. If you don't believe me, I have a video I uploaded on YouTube years ago about that, but type in putting sand on Bermuda lawn / Bermuda grass central and that video will come up. All right, what do you think about fescue grass in a heavily shaded area? That will work also. I mean, if you're going to just put that, because the Bermuda grass won't work, or you can do perennial ryegrass. That might even work. I don't really too much care for fescue itself, because fescue doesn't do well in the heat anyway. But you could try either or. That's going to be something you got to try. All right, but I love your live streams. Appreciate that. That's from, is that Foles 501? I'm trying to get them right, guys. I'm trying to get it right. After pre-emergent, then fertilizer, when is a good time to hit it with weed spray for all the weeds I've missed? You can do that immediately. You don't have to wait. If you see weeds, you need to start treating them ASAP. Just bear in mind, if the temperatures are below 45, it may not work as good. But right now, we're coming out of that groundhog. I don't know if he got shot in the head and didn't come out the hole, but spring is here. All right, even though spring technically doesn't end until March 20th, it's here. People are getting, my stuff is starting to bud out. My bushes are budding out. I'm starting to see crane flies in the yard. That's an insect. It's here. So go ahead and treat those weeds ASAP. You do not have to wait to treat weeds. Start treating weeds now. Do not go deep into spring and you're still fighting weeds. That's the last thing you want to do. Go ahead and treat the weeds now. Let's see. Is Scotch Triple Action any good? Scotch Triple Action is a great 3-in-1 punch, but it's not going to work like you want it to work. If you read Scott's fertilizer, the weed and feed in particular, it does not kill crabgrass. So if you get crabgrass in your yard, it's not going to work. Now they do have two 3-in-1s. I think they got the one that's a weed feed in it, in a pre-emergent. Then they have the one that's a weed feed, and I think it has insect control in it. So make sure you get the one with the pre-emergent, and I would advise you to do the insect control yourself so you can get a better control of it. But it's a great option. me personally, I don't put it in my yard. I use straight fertilizer, and I treat weeds with a liquid weed kill for lawns. All right, let's see what else is. Best Bermuda weed prevention. Bermuda weed prevention is to start with pre-emergent. Then you use a weed kill for lawn formula like Spectracide 470. You can get that in the store. You can order the Yard Mastery 0.38 through my link, or you can go in the store and buy Let's Go 007 and put it down. Let's see, I'm dropping my pre-emergent this afternoon. Is that a good idea? I mean, yes. Matter of fact, let me show you something. That's actually what I'm finna do now. I put pre-emergent on that strip you saw over there. I already did that, but I haven't done none of the back, none of the side, none of the front. So I'm finna do that actually today. But yeah, you need to get it down ASAP. Listen, if you're wondering about pre-emergent, you can never go wrong applying pre-emergent. I don't care what anybody says. Pre-emergent is your friend if you're trying to prevent weeds now or in the future. You just got to go ahead and get them under control. Now, weed control, it is kind of difficult because a lot of times I can't tell you every situation in one video. That's why I tell you guys, make sure you hit that subscription button and subscribe. And when I make these videos, make sure you have me turn your notifications on in your settings on your phone. That's another thing. If you have your notifications turned off for the YouTube, when I upload a video, you're not going to get the notification. It's only going to come to you if you get online. And then again, if you're watching a lot of cat videos, the algorithm won't send you my video just because you subscribe. You're going to have to come to the channel and click on it so you can actually see it. But if you had the notifications turned on in your settings on your iPhone or your Android, when I upload a video, you should get a notification and you can watch that video. A lot of these videos are time sensitive, which means you got to watch them at that moment. You can't come 2 weeks later and try to learn it because the situation may be gone. All right, so let's see what else we got here. See, this is in the bare patches. Should we put grass seeds down along with the sand? All right, I want everybody to pay attention. I want you to pull out your pens. Who is the real Slim Shady? That's me. I need you to pay attention. If your grass is growing healthy and it's out in the sun, no shade, do not put grass seeds, any type of grass seeds down. Your Bermuda grass is going to spread naturally over that, but it's going to take a little time. You just got to keep mowing. How often should I mow, BYD? I recommend you mow twice a week. I know a lot of you guys are like, man, I ain't got time for that. I got a JOB. But get your son or somebody out there to start mowing that grass twice a week. The more you mow your Bermuda grass, the more it's going to spread, and it's going to spread horizontally with these stolons. These are the runners that actually go sideways through the yard, and it'll start spreading that way. I prefer you to do that so you can have a consistency of the same type grass, because when you go buy those seeds, and if they do take, it's going to be bare patches. It's not bare patches. It's going to be a different type of grass there. Now, if you have bare patches where a lot of water is constantly running, then you're just going to have an issue. All right, I don't care if you do put seeds there, that it's going to get washed away. But if you could manage the way that water runs across that area, that grass will fill in by itself over time. I enjoy watching your channel, even though I have fescue in Connecticut. Some of these tips I say they are for fescue. This message is being held for review. I'm not even gonna look at that. I don't know what this guy talking about. I'm not gonna read that. What up, BYD? Hi, BYD from Virginia. Hey, what's going on? That was from Grace Ortiz. All right, I'm just trying to read some of these comments. Should we apply grass seed in the bare patches? I think I already read that. Is it too early to blend 20? I'm not understanding that. Is it too early for stress blend? You mean 7020? No, if your grass is actually starting to grow and you downloaded the Yard Mastery app and it's telling you that, then go ahead and put it down. And guys, bear in mind too, I want to tell you this. If you do have that Yard Mastery app, do not order through the app. You only order through my link. If you order through that app, I get no credit for helping to sell that product. You make sure you click on my link. It's going to take you straight back to the page and you order it. That way I will get the credit for it. But yeah, that's a great idea if you want to do it now. Matter of fact, I'm gonna flip this around. I'm gonna show you. Today I'm gonna put this down on the rest of the yard. The starter fertilizer, I'm only putting it in where the new Tahoma 31 grass was. And that's everything on the back side of that insect control thing right there. All of that. All right. Then I'm gonna come back and put this down on the rest of the yard also. Now this is not going on a new area. This is just going on the area that's starting to green up already. That's gonna help bring me out of dormancy a little better and help repair some of the roots that may have got damaged. Now let's jump over to weed control, guys. I already talked about, I think I talked about this. I'm not sure. If I didn't, this is the one I'm always recommend, Spectricide 470, all right? Now understand, if you do get that 470, that 470 does not kill poor, does not kill Dallas grass, does not kill goose grass. Does a great job on everything else. This will help kill Creeping Charlie. This will help kill spurge. This will help kill, I'm just trying to think of some of the bitter crest. This will help kill dandelions or any broadleaf weeds, which means you don't know the name of them, but they got big old leaves on them. It pretty much does the job. It says it kills over 470 weeds, results in 5 hours. If you apply something like that, guys, you gotta apply it while the yard is dry. You cannot apply it to a wet surface. All right, now they have the hose in one that you can screw to the water hose, spread all over your yard, 4,000 square feet, that's gonna work. But anytime you apply any of these projects, please, I am begging you, please read those directions, because sometimes I can read you directions off a bottle and they go change the formula and you'll think that I was wrong, even though I'm right based on the old formula. So whatever you do, please, I am begging you with everything I got, hit that, read those directions. And a big shout out to my man, Rich Bad. He just did a, what they call a super chat for 20 bucks. Now, Rich, I'm just gonna be real with you. Rich is a ride or die. And matter of fact, Rich is a YouTube subscriber, and Rich was out here to help put down all this new sod back here. Rich showed up and we put all that new, well, it was actually about 8 of us. I didn't do any work. I was the orchestrator, but all of them guys put down that witch column, and we had a grill going. I think we were using the Blackstone right there. We had like hamburgers and hot dogs and all this and that. Next time I'm gonna fire up the Pit Boss chimney grill right there and smoke about 8 ribs at the same time. And that's also a Pit Boss right here too, guys. And the reason I want you guys to get your stuff straight, guys, because there's nothing like having a beautiful lawn and you're out here barbecuing and doing all that great stuff with your family and stuff like this. You don't want to be fighting weeds. You want to be out here having a good time. So now is the time to get out here, get this grass mowed down, put out your insect control. And I'm not going to say if you need to, you must go ahead and put it down, because you don't want a lot of this stuff interfering with your family time while you're out here. Let's get back to this weed control. Now this right here is actually what I'm going to use to take care of the poor. They do have the red label. That's the one I recommend you guys get. But the reason you don't hear me talk about this is because it's like $60 or $70 a bottle, and you only get 1.5 ounces. But this actually covers up to an acre. All right, so this is one of the things I'm going to put down along with, I may do Speed Zone, but I'm not sure because I don't really have that many weeds. So it's really not a need for me to put down Speed Zone, but Speed Zone is deadly. That stuff is deadly. This is the Yard Mastery backpack sprayer. I think they got that at the Yard Mastery shop. Don't quote me on it. I think it's $300 plus, $320, something like that. Maybe something you're interested. I'll leave that link down there just in case you guys want to start ordering your stuff and helping us out. Let's see. When should we aerate? Let me flip this around so you can see me. This is from Eddie McFarley. When should we aerate, before or after pre-emergent? There's no real good timing with that. If you're gonna put down pre-emergent, you just gotta put it down and trust the process. All right, I generally tell people, don't aerate until your lawn is about 40 to 60% green. So if you put down pre-emergent before, it is what it is. It's still gonna do its job. You just gonna have to, it is what it is. You can't change it. So if you go and aerate, yeah, that may slightly break the barrier in those spots. But if you don't have a weedy lawn, guys, then you should be good. If you do have a weedy lawn and it's really weedy, do not aerate your yard if you have a lawn that is full of weeds, because all you're gonna do is allow more weed seeds to get deep into the grass or the soil, and next year it's gonna be even worse. All right, I have centipede grass in my Byron, Georgia. Any information? It's centipede grass is pretty much the same, but the only issue you're gonna have with that is finding a weed kill for lawn formula that really works on that. You can fertilize it the same way, and I'll show you why. Let me see. If you see this right here, the Yard Mastery, they have centipede lawn on there, St. Augustine, zoysia, Bermuda grass, and it tells you exactly when to fertilize it. At the same time you're fertilizing the Bermuda grass. So most of the tips you hear me say, they're gonna be for that, but the issue comes when you start getting weed kill for lawn formulas right there, and you gotta check. I can't really, on here, okay, I'll give you this one. You can't use this on centipede. It says bluegrass, fescue, zoysia, Bermuda, perennial ryegrass. These are the only lawns that you can use it on. So you're gonna have to Google what can I kill weeds with if I got centipede grass, and you go for that. For the mowing and stuff like that, I don't know if centipede should be mowed that low. I got one customer that has centipede, and we do mow it kind of low, and it looks good. It looks good. I'm just trying to see here. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit and hold that like button. You got any questions, throw them down there. I just use, let's see, lawn safe weed control to kill my weeds in the yard. Should I wait before seeding my Bermuda? You're gonna have to read the back of that bottle and see what it says about you seeding, because all of them are different. All right, I personally don't like to seed Bermuda grass, but read the bottle and it should tell you how long after you can do that. All right, this guy right here, Patrick Crabtree, some idiot bro making a bomb fertilizer, should be illegal. If any way I can block him off the channel, I'll do it. Let me see. I'm just gonna, let's see, hide him from the channel. We won't see him again. Spectricide is some good stuff. Yep, I've been getting ground bees in the lawn right now. They're making mounds everywhere. What can stop them? This is one of the things why I've always said that you got to put that stuff, the spectricide and stuff like that, down ahead of time to head that off. Now, the only thing I've done in the past with customer yards is put down some insect control, and once it rained, those bees pretty much stop. I mean, it is what it is. All right, let's see. Thanks, BYD. I just used your link to buy gloves for my son. All right, what kind of gloves you got? Put it down there. Bees underground. In fact, the bees are something. Yeah, I wouldn't be calling a beekeeper just to get bees out the ground. You just put some insect control, because that only way a beekeeper, a person who removes bees, you got to have a gigantic nest. You know, you'll pay them $400 or $500 to come out there to put some chemicals on your yard, which you can do yourself. How do I get rid of annual ryegrass over Bermuda? Now, from what I've understand, you can use Celsius. All right, Celsius is a good thing that you can use for that. Matter of fact, I think I got some. Hold on for just a second. Let me see. I think we bought some. I'm gonna show it to you real quick. Let's see, yep. Give me just a second, get back outside. I got it in a box. I ordered 2 packs of it. All right, kind of expensive. You can order the bottle, but I'm gonna show you what I ordered. We did order the Celsius. All right, and just for that reason, you know, Celsius, it's not necessarily gonna kill it, but it's gonna damage it and weaken it real bad. Now, once you use the Celsius, you gotta keep watering, you gotta keep mowing your Bermuda grass down at a lower height so it can help overrun that, what you call them now. Hopefully you use annual, yeah, you did use annual ryegrass. So when it heats up, the annual ryegrass will cook off. Guys, my suggestion about annual ryegrass is don't ever put that down in your yard. Your yard is gonna look good throughout them cool seasons, but when it's time for the Bermuda grass to start coming back, it's gonna have an issue of trying to come back, a fight with the annual ryegrass, because it still may be cool. So it's competing. So I don't recommend you planting ryegrass at all. If you want a green lawn, guys, a lot of people think it's cheating. try turf paint and paint that lawn, and it's gonna look good. It's gonna be dormant, and it's gonna stay green, and you won't have to be out there cutting all the time. All right, Georgia temp is crazy. Yeah, Georgia, listen, it was 30. I did a couple of consultations this morning, and the first one I was freezing. It was 30 some degrees. Then it got up to about 50. Now it's dang near close to 70 degrees, it feels like. So we got up and down weather here in Georgia. It's crazy. Are you 50-50 with spray and spreader for fertilizer? Not sure about that question, what you're trying to really ask, but I'm not ask that again because I'm not understanding. Are you 50-50 with spray and spreader for fertilizer? Do you need soil temps for bug granular? Yeah, the soil temps are starting to come up, so don't wait to put it down. Even if that soil temp is over 45, something like that, get that stuff down. If you wait, it's not going to get in the soil. If you wait until soil temps get to 55, 60, and you're in one of them areas like Georgia where it's my soil temps is 40 in the morning, then here we are in the middle of the evening at 65, it's going to be an issue. Guys, if you want to throw me a super chat, feel free to do so. What does the super chat do? It just shows appreciation for all the knowledge that you're getting through this live. There's a super chat button that you can click down there. 5, 10, 15, $3,000, whatever you want to send, guys. That does help the channel out. All right, let me see. Give me a second. I'm blocking some of these people off the channel permanently because they're asking dumb questions. Thank you for your help. I have nut sedge that I can get rid of. First of all, make sure it's nut sedge. Nut sedge generally does not grow this time of season. Normally you'll get nut sedge come middle summer, late summer, early fall, somewhere around there. If you got nut sedge now, you got to make sure it's actually nut sedge and not POA, P-O-A, annual bluegrass. I'm gonna put this camera down here. If your grass looks like this right here, that's not nut sedge. That's POA. All right, that's a nut issue right there. But if you do have nut sedge, Image Red Label will kill that and nut sedge also. So that's a formula you may want to think about. All right, let's see what else here. We have a huge problem with foxtails here. What is the best stuff? You can use Pesticide 470. I'm telling you, that stuff will get rid of it. Just apply it at the correct rate. Let's see here. Stone Mountain, appreciate your content. That's from R. Reed right there. BYD have a question. Here in New York, average temperature is 45 degrees. When can I put down pre-emergent? You can put it down now. Don't wait. Don't listen. Pre-emergent is not going to work unless it's in the soil. When soil temps get 45, 50, and you start having stuff that germinated, you wait too late. Get it down ASAP. Don't wait. Spring is here. I don't care what the temperatures are. Unless you're getting snow now. If you're getting snow, that's something different. Get that pre-emergent in the ground ASAP and water it in. So can I use Pesticide 470 and pre-emergent at the same time? Put the pre-emergent down, then go ahead and spray Pesticide 470. A couple of days later, water that stuff in real good. Let's see. That was from Perry. Okay, gloves, purchase, construction. Okay, he got some construction work gloves from his son. All right. Do you trust home soil testers? Not really. I buy them just to play with them, but they're nowhere near accurate versus me sending my soil test in and getting the soil test results that way. Let me show you another thing too. I got a soil test. I want to show you that too. I ordered one of those. In just a second. We ordered that soil test and we ordered that Celsius. I'm gonna show you real quick. Give me just a second. Quiet zone in the house. Shut the door. All right, let me show you this real quick. I did order a soil test. I'm pulling out the box. I'm putting it right here so you can see it. All right, so this is the soil test right here. This is how it's gonna come when you get it. This is from Yardmaster right here. This does not come with the probe, so you're gonna have to basically dig it up. But what it is gonna come with is a lot of information, how you register it, the little soil test kit. You're gonna scoop some soil up with this right here. And I'm gonna do a video on this, hopefully. And you put it in here, shake it up real good. Then they give you a pack to mill it in. They mill it in, and then once you register register it through Yard Mastery, their app, the results will come to you in the app. They're not going to mail you nothing. They're not going to email you nothing. It's going to come through the app. And generally, when you get that through the app, then you can go check and see what it's recommending for you to put down. And that's basically it. But those cheap soil tests at the store, they're not that accurate, guys. I mean, it just gives you a general. I call that, those are the ones that you let your kids play with, and y'all just have a little fun out in the yard. Oh, look at this and that, and you try and teach them. But as far as you really getting down to the grit, don't do that store stuff right there. That's cheap. How the new sod handled the winter. It did good. Let me show it to you. It's actually coming out of dormancy ahead of my regular Bermuda grass. This is Tifway 419. That's Tahoma 31. The only issue is I got some, not Bermuda grass, some pour that's crept into it because I couldn't put a pre-emergent on the new sod. All right. Let's see here. All right. Appreciate you advice on getting rid of the annual ryegrass. I had planned on just mowing it out. Yeah, you could try to mow it out, but it ain't gonna go nowhere because if we get some more cooler temps, it's just gonna come right back. All right, I did get a super check from R. Reed here. I think that's the guy in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. Appreciate that. $5. That's a good thing right there. I'll make sure I let the missus know. I'm gonna flip this back around to me. That's my accountant, just in case you guys are wondering. Can I put a Miracle Grow lawn food on my lawn? I don't know if Miracle Grow still sells lawn food, or unless you're talking about the one you put in the container, that's that green powder, and you spray it. If your lawn is growing, then yeah, you can put it down there. That's good, but that's not. I would recommend you putting granular fertilizer down versus a liquid. Liquid fertilizer, it works temporarily. All right, granular is slow release. It'll keep putting nutrients and stuff into the soil every time you get some rain or something like that. All right. Is it necessary to aerate before planting my new Bermuda grass seeds? And thank you for your answer. Yes, I recommend you, if you're gonna aerate and put down some seeds, I would recommend you aerate and then put the seeds down. All right, you got to put a starter fertilizer down too. You can't just throw seeds on the ground, but you got to get a good quality starter fertilizer. If you're looking for one of those, go to Home Depot, get Let's Go starter fertilizer. That's the best one I recommend. Thoughts on Milorganite? I love Milorganite. I don't use it as much because if you order Yard Mastery fertilizer, I think 3 or 4 pounds of that stuff in the bag is actually a biosolid, just like Milorganite. Milorganite will get your yard green, but I did the comparison of with my Yard Mastery, didn't really see much of a difference. Nothing for me to spend $25 a bag on, and it only covers 2,500 square feet. All right, always give awesome advice. Appreciate that. That's from Mr. Gilbert. What do you prefer, Image or 470? Depending on what you're gonna use and what you're using it for. If you got pour, then you gotta go with the Image Red Label. If you don't have pour, always go with the Spectricide 470 because it's going to cover more weeds than the normal. All right, let's see what we got here. You may have answered it, but I want to be sure, is it okay to put down Triazide? I'm in South Carolina, highs in the 70, lows in the 40. Yeah, go ahead and put that insect control down now. Don't wait. Do not wait. If I have to drive all the way to South Carolina and do it for you, I will. Put that stuff down now because it's going to control. It's going to help control. Control means you got ahead of the game. All right. By being warm like it is now, these insects are going to come out of dormancy of somewhat their sleep way ahead of time. And if you haven't been putting any insect control down over the years, it's going to be a bad year for insects. I put it to you like that. BYD, what is the best mold cricket killer? Mold cricket killer, Spectricide, Triazide. If you put it down ahead of the game and you do this once in the spring, once in the summer, and once in the fall, every 3 months you put it down, you shouldn't have a mold cricket problem. All right, love your channel, appreciate that. This is from Monticus Grime. Can you mix weed stop with Image? Personally, I would not recommend you doing that, and here's why. You're gonna be over applying too much herbicide to the entire yard, even though you're doing it at the same rate. What I would do is, if you want to use Spectracide 470, fine. But if you want to use Image Red Label to spot treat the weeds, get 2.5 ounces of Image Red Label and put it in a 1 gallon pump sprayer, and then go spot treat the image individually. But I would not recommend you applying both of those formulas at the same time, because you can put too much herbicide down. Now, if you do, and your yard starts to turn yellow, Bermuda grass, eventually it's gonna come back green. You can't destroy Bermuda grass that easy, but I don't recommend that. Let's see. I think he's talking about MSA is better than this garbage. Go watch his live. I'm not understanding. I don't know if I should block this guy or what, because I don't know if he's being smart. Ronan, yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and block this guy. Hold on. That's some of the stuff you got to do, guys. You have guys coming in with all this dumb stuff. If you don't like the channel, don't even bother. I have tree lines with shade, no grass, and it's gonna stay like that. Bermuda does not like shade. The one kryptonite for Bermuda grass is shade. If it's consistently in the shade, it's not gonna grow. Bermuda grass needs anywhere from, they say 6 to 8 hours. I always say 7 to 8 hours of full direct sunlight in order for it to thrive. If it's in a shady area, it's not going to thrive. Have natural grass, how do you kill my weeds? I'm not understanding that question. And I don't even know what natural grass is. It's either fescue or Bermuda grass. But you got to find out what type of grass you have and then treat for weeds like that. If I tell you to go put 470 down and I don't know your exact grass type, and you spray it on that grass type that's not listed and it starts damaging your grass, then you'll be upset. So you got to find out what's the type of grass you have. BYD, how soon can I start dropping Milorganite on St. Augustine if coming at you from Jacksonville, Florida? You could do it ASAP, but the only thing is, well, I think you can drop Milorganite anytime. I don't think y'all have a fertilizer ban going on now. But even with the fertilizer ban, I think you still can drop Milorganite. Drop it now if you're getting good weather. Somebody says this is break. Skip the poison and dig them up more safer. Yeah, I get people like that on this channel that don't really care about the lawn care that I talk about. So what I do is eventually just block them off. Because my thing is, if you don't want to do this, don't come to the channel with all that crazy talk, whatever. What about scarification? It's not aeration. You can do that also. I don't do that. I don't do that because I try to make lawn care as easy as possible. When people start doing all the scarifying, then it's dethatching, and then it's aeration, just tearing the yard up, and then you wait, and here we are 2 months in spring, and then you finally start to see your benefits, and then you get a month and a half of just good grass, and then it dies away. My issue is, go ahead and try to get rid of the weeds. You don't have to aerate. You don't have to dethatch if you don't want to. If you got thick thatch in there, I would. But other than that, you don't have to. You know, scarification, if you want to do it, that's a good thing. What about, no, we just answered that. I have true lines, no shade. I think I answered that one. Is it okay to plant fescue now? Fescue will do great now, but just bear in mind, come summer, it's going to be gone. Best time to plant fescue is probably at somewhere in the fall, right before, if you know no snow is coming, fall, and then early spring, you can put it down. You got to water the crap out of it. Don't know where you stay at. If you stay out in a hot area like I do, it's not going to make it. Can you use, okay, somebody asked that question. All right, guys, so this has been a good live right here, guys, and I'll just run it down real quick. We're going to briefly talk about it real quick. If you got new sod, go ahead and get your Yard Mastery 12-12-12, put that down. Guys, make sure you put your pre-emergent down ASAP, don't wait. If your Yard Mastery app is telling you to put down 7020, put that down. Go ahead and treat for weeds. Know your actual square footage of your yard. Don't just be putting stuff down you don't know the square footage, and get that stuff watered in, all right? So you're tuned into Bermuda Grass Central. Any more comments, guys, put them in the regular comments on the video. I'll come back and answer that. If you're watching this live stream for the first, please hit that like button right now. Send me out with a bang. Everybody, 95 people watching, please hit that like button and send flames to this channel right now. That way the algorithm would know that I went live, I gave you some good information, and you guys learned a lot. All right, guys, so this is Michael Bowman. You're tuned into Bermuda Grass Central with BYD. It's Michael Bowman, and I'll talk to you soon.